It's a test. Just like Nrsingadev tested Prahlad. The test is not meant to make the devotee fail. It's meant to glorify the devotee. Just like when Krishna tested Arjuna in the Ashvatthama incident. To kill him or not kill him. Krishna told Arjuna, remember you promised your wife you're going to kill him. Go ahead. Arjuna understood the deeper purport to what Krishna is saying. So it's not that Krishna was trying to trick Arjuna. I'm going to put you in a tricky situation, and I'm going to tell you something that actually has hidden meanings just to trip you up. No, Krishna wants to glorify his devotee. Throughout the Bhagavatam, you'll see the Supreme Personality of Godhead testing the devotee in order to advertise the glories of the devotee. The Supreme Personality of Godhead did that with Pritchard in the 4th canto. Ask for me any benediction. And Pritchard just asked for pure devotional service and the association of pure devotees. Lord Nrsingadev did it with Prahlad. Prahlad, what was his very humble response when Nrsingadev said, you can ask me any benediction you like. Prahlad said, my dear Lord Nrsinga, let's consider my family background here. Let's look at the sociology. After all, I'm the son of the greatest demon. So you shouldn't dangle the possibility of material desires in front of me, knowing my background. I am eternally your servant. You are eternally the master. We have no other relationship than this. This is transcendental reductionism. Pritchard Mirage reduced everything to this basic principle of servitude. There's nothing else going on except I'm your servant, you're the master. There's nothing else going on now, and there'll never be anything else going on in the future. I'm your servant unconditionally, and you are my unconditional master. Then you look in the 10th canto. No, before 10th canto. End of the 9th canto. Shukadeva Goswami was testing Pritchard Mirage. The last verses of the 9th canto, in which you see a prelude to Krishna Lila coming in the 10th canto. That is Shukadeva Goswami's testing of of Pritchard Mirage. Are you really eager to hear what's coming next? Are you on the edge of your seat, so to speak? Are you sure you're ready? It's Shukadeva Goswami testing him. Because those last few verses of the 9th canto whet your appetite for the feast that's to come. And then, in Gopi Leela, when Krishna played his flute in the middle of the night, and his dearmost devotees ran off to be with him in the middle of the forest in the middle of the night, what did Krishna say? Go back home to your husbands. Go back home to your family. It's not good for you to be here. This is also Krishna testing, the Acharyas point out. It seems like he's presenting ordinary Kula Dharma. You shouldn't come out here to be with me. You have your families. You have your husband. What is the transcendental reality? They're all Krishna's energy. They all belong to Krishna. But just to test their attachment, he says, go home, go home, go home. And then his dearmost devotees, the gopis, are staring off into the forest as Krishna's speaking like that, as someone would do when another person says something unpalatable. You just kind of look away. So Krishna saw the gopis doing that, as he was saying, go home, go back to your husbands. They're looking into the forest. And what does Krishna say? Oh, I see. Now I understand. The real reason why you're here is not because of me. You just want to see the beauty of the forest. All right. Have you seen enough of the beauty of the nighttime forest? Now go home. So the acharyas point out this is a test. Similarly, when Krishna sent Uddhava with a message to Vrindavan, and that message contained what could be considered as jnana. Everything is me. Why should you feel that I'm not there when everything around you, all of nature, all the material is also me? This is a test, the acharyas point out. Similarly, when the residents of Vrindavan met Krishna at Kurukshetra for the solar eclipse, and finally Krishna's dearmost devotees got to see him again, and Krishna in private instructed them. And again, he said something that could be considered Jnana Yoga. I am the self of all. I am everywhere. So the acharyas point out, this is Krishna testing. And of course, the response of his dearmost devotees was that we just want your presence as we're executing our simple household duties. Come back to Vrindavan with us and be present with us, no matter what we are doing. And the final test in Bhagavatam is in the 12th canto. Pritchard Mirage is about to leave this world, and Shukadeva Goswami seems to digress. He starts talking about knowledge of jnana, how you're not the body, how matter is distinct from spirit. This is just to galvanize Pritchard Mirage. You want to think about Krishna. And Pritchard Mirage, before he departs, tells Shukadeva Goswami, you can go now. Your job is done. My consciousness is fixed completely on Krishna. So these tests are not meant to antagonize devotees or trip them up, make them fail. These tests are meant to bring out the devotee's bhakti and enhance it. So similarly, it seems that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is testing Muchakunda. Ask me whatever you want. But the Supreme Personality of Godhead knows in advance that his devotee will pass the test. It's not that it's outside of his knowledge. How will this devotee succeed in this situation? But Krishna wants to demonstrate to the world the glories of his devotees. Sometimes, even we ordinary devotees are tested. Srila Prabhupada points out that in one purport in the 8th canto that Krishna never tests a devotee more than the devotee has been prepared for. But sometimes we have a hard time accepting that. This is too much. I mean, oh, God. Why, Krishna? Why are you doing this to me? Oh, so many of us have been through situations in which this is unbearable. Why me? What did I do? A good teacher, even in the material sense, never tests students beyond what the student has been prepared for. Why would you think Krishna would do that? Do we think Krishna is some kind of sadist, or he wants to torture his devotees? I dangle the sweet the sweetest taste of bhakti, I dangle it before you, and then as soon as you try to get it, I put you in a situation that just finishes you off. Sometimes we think that bhakti is some kind of torturous course. I remember some university students were telling me how, not in India, but in the West, how their teacher told them, all right, it's time for the final exam. I want you all to master the material. So what I'm going to do is put all the exam questions on the bulletin board outside the classroom so that next week when you take your final exam, by that time you'll have ample opportunity to thoroughly master the subject matter. I'm not interested in making your life miserable. I want you to know the material. So, of course, the students were very happy. They don't do that here, do they? But all the exam questions, tomorrow I'm going to post them outside the classroom. And that way you can just thoroughly know the material. It's a good way to teach, to give all the information and give the student ample time to process. But this is the material world. What happened? The teacher did that. But then some selfish student went to the bulletin board the next day and said, oh, here are all the questions. I don't even feel like copying them down. I'll take I'll just take the paper down and, that's it. Yeah. It's life in the material world, So the students went to the bulletin board. There were no questions there. They called up the teacher. And what was the teacher's response? What do you want out of me? I've done my job. I put the questions there. You guys took them down. It's not my problem. He actually said that. Why would we ever think Krishna would treat us in such a way? So it is the essential point to understand that Krishna never tests you more than what you've been prepared for. So therefore, when a testing situation comes for a devotee, he never blames Krishna. He begs Krishna, I know that you have prepared me for this. I just right now don't feel that way, but please enlighten me how you are giving me the best care in the past, in the present, and in the future.